Welcome to the Healthcare Provider Happy Hour. This is a safe space where we invite healthcare providers to unapologetically be themselves after the working day. My name is Jennifer George, and each week I will connect you with guests and stories that will help transform your stress to success and fulfillment. Are you with me? Grab your drink of choice and let's chat. Hey everyone, welcome to the Healthcare Provider Happy Hour. I'm your host, Jennifer George, and I'm joining you this afternoon with a glass of water. I want to chat with you for a few minutes today about reflecting on your place in your profession right now and what you're really doing in the bigger picture. Okay? And this is something that you're going to think about time and time again, right? As you grow, whether it's personally or professionally, as you grow, these are questions that are going to come up over and over. And you might be even at a point in your career where you're thinking, is this for me? Is there another move I should be doing? Is this where I'm meant to be right now? And when you're dealing with that question, I think it's really important to look deeper than just the doing of your work and look more at whether your work aligns with who you are. I know for myself, I'm an encourager. I'm someone who tries to help people empower themselves. I'm a motivator, and I'm warm and patient, and those are the things that I have to be able to do, or be, I should say, not do. I should have to be able to be in my practice every single day in order to feel aligned. Okay? So if you're unsure about whether where you are right now is where you're supposed to be, take a look at who you are, and see if who you are is who you're able to be when you're in your profession. If not, then you're going to encounter resistance, right? And then you want to see if you can work around that. Like I've talked about in other podcasts, work your way around the resistance and see if you can kind of find a place of inner peace, okay? And, if you can't, then eventually what's going to happen is if you ignore it, then it's going to actually get worse, right? It may even spill over into your personal life, because when you're not happy with your work, where you spend the majority of your time, that is going to impact you when you go home, okay? And not only that, it's also going to impact you at your work, right? So you'll maybe start to notice that you're being irritable, or that you're abrupt, or that you've lost passion for what you do at this point. And those are all signs. Those are all things to pay attention to as you move forward. And to ignore them is only going to result in delaying an inevitable consequence, okay? And at whose expense? Yours, but also potentially at your family's expense, your loved one's expense, because it's going to change who you are, right? So the way I see it is you can bring the energy that you have to the situation, or you are going to pick up on the energy from the situation. So if you are in a toxic workplace of some sort and it's not allowing you to grow, okay, it's not allowing you to be even who you are fundamentally, then it's going to alter you. It's going to change you. You're either going to be empowered by it and not tolerate it or change it or find something better for yourself that's more aligned, or you're going to tolerate it. And as you tolerate it, you're going to become numb to it or overwhelmed by it, and you're going to burn out, right? Potentially. So it's really important that you have these conversations with yourself, not only mentally and spiritually, but also physically, right? Maybe your body's telling you something. If you haven't been sleeping, for example, or if you're not eating, things like that. Like maybe your body is trying to tell you something too. And I think it's really important that we look at the full picture. We do it all the time when it comes to patient interaction and care, right? We do it all the time. We try to look at the bigger picture, and we try to see our patients as whole, right? But we don't really do that when it comes to our own personal lives. And there is no greater feeling, I'll tell you right now, there is no greater feeling than getting through a challenging situation and reclaiming your power. Okay, reclaiming your personal power. There is no greater feeling, because what happens is once you've achieved that, once you've reclaimed your personal power, nothing can touch you after that. Okay, you are only elevated from there. And that's where you want to be. Okay, that's ultimately where you want to be. So that when you're more elevated, whether you just know it or whether you've become it, okay, you can see negativity, you can see toxicity from a mile away, but it won't impact you. It won't impact your practice. You're able to see it and let it go, okay? When you're clinging and you're holding on, or you're suppressing and you're bothered and it's constant, that's a sign. That's a sign that you need to check in more. That's a sign that something is off, okay? And like I said, you could be impacted physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, or even financially in some cases, depending on the situation. Okay, all of which need to be paid attention to in your own life. Okay, the thing is we as healthcare providers, we want to provide the best care we possibly can, right? We want to be in the presence of that with our patients. I'm telling you right now, it's impossible to be in the best self that you can possibly be in when you don't feel aligned. Okay, so it's time to take your power back, guys. Okay, and I don't mean that literally. I mean that more spiritually. I mean that more on the inside. Because when somebody gets in your inner peace, when somebody disturbs your inner peace, that's the worst kind of disturbance there is. Okay. Once you have a sense of inner peace, you can then go out into the world or into the working environment and be untouched. Okay, it's like you can even envision yourself in a bubble that, that toxicity cannot burst. Okay? But that really is in your hands at the end of the day. Okay, and I also think a little bit of faith too in there as well when you're going through tough times. But let me know what you think. How do you tolerate a toxic workplace with protection and with peace and with resilience? Okay, let me know what you think. You can tag me on Instagram at bestobsessedwithjen, or you can go to jennifergeorge.co, contact me through the website. And as usual, until we chat next time, stay happy. So if you guys like this podcast, please subscribe and leave an honest review. Your feedback means everything to me. Your reviews are what moves this podcast forward, and I always appreciate receiving them. If you want to get a hold of me directly, reach out to me on social media. My handles are in the show notes, and you can always subscribe to my weekly newsletters at jennifergeorge.co so that we can stay connected. So until next time, thank you guys so much again for your ongoing support.